Welcome to the Concoction Podcast, where we talk about everything and anything. Chris, special guest today, man. How you doing, first of all?
Good. Cold as fuck. I don't know what's wrong with Denver, but Jesus, that weather is just all over the place.
Right.
I need to get the shit together, man.
The spring refuses to show up, man.
I
Yeah.
tried to put my jacket away and then had to put it back because it was snowing. And the day before it's all sunny and shit. Now it's snowing again. But hey, anyways, Manuel, welcome.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Manuel from Coal
Mine Avenue Brewing Company out
There you
in
go.
Littleton, Colorado.
There you
Sweet,
go.
sweet.
Yeah.
And like a good guest, he brought us on beautiful cans.
You can't do a podcast with a brewer without having beer.
That's
Gotta
right.
work.
That's
Enhances
right.
the experience for sure.
That's right. Those are pretty cool cans actually. How much beer is in this one?
So these are 32-ounce cans that we fill them and seal them right on site when people order them. So we've got a big seamer. A lot of people call them crowlers. We just call them big cans.
Make it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. What kind of beers are this one?
So right now we've got two different styles on here. I brought the Peabody, which is our New England style IPA. Very hazy, hard to see through. You get a lot of hop aroma, a lot of hop flavor. It uses a lot of hops. And on the opposite end, we have a very kind of malt forward beer, a little more easy drinking. It's an amber. The New England style IPA we call the Peabody or Pibity, depending on what part of the country you're from. And then the amber, we call it the Reluctance Amber. The New England IPA is 7.1% and the amber is 5.4%. So pretty good representation of our brewery. We're out in a neighborhood where we've got a lot of, I guess, traditional beer drinkers. There are people who are not familiar with the idea of a craft brewery. So we do a lot of things like the amber, and we have a cream ale to kind of help introduce them. And then we have other things where we want to make sure we're keeping up with the latest trends and bringing that out to the suburbs. Things like our New England style IPA, things like sours. We have a brute sour that we do a series on, so it's different every time. And one time I threw 50 pounds of Nutter Butter cookies in the mash in a stout. so yeah, we're trying to.
What did you call that one?
We just call it Nutter Butter.
Nice.
Nutter Butter Coal Miner's Dogger, which is what we call a stout. Is Coal Miner's Dogger. So
I see a trend here, man. You keep your names as basic as you can, straight to the point.
No, well, it depends on the beer, right?
Gotcha.
So there's a reluctance. There's a story behind. There's stories behind pretty much everything that we try and name. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Let's get these open. What do you guys want to try?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think I made my decision based on the percentage of alcohol. As soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, well, that's it. But I don't know,
English
Chris. What are you
IPA.
gonna do?
I'll go with the English IPA. Man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
okay.
go hardcore.
New England IPA.
Oh, New
Yeah.
England
You
IPA.
guys want to hand me your glasses over here?
Sure.
Yeah, because an English IPA is a different style altogether.
Nice.
Get these poured in here.
Nice.
Look at that.
I know, man. Beautiful, beautiful.
That's a perfect for a long week.
Right.
Shitty weather.
So
This is
you know what they say. If we didn't have this surprise weathers now and then, you know what places that don't have that kind of weather?
they call it
Arizona and Florida,
Right.
retirement communities.
right.
Yeah.
I was even gonna say Kansas, but not even, man. Kansas could surprise you sometimes.
Yeah. I just think I was ready for like a little bit more
Yeah, me too.
warm days, you know.
Because it deceived us. Like it gave us a little taste, so I thought we were there. But
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank
The
you.
first thing you're gonna notice on this is the nose. It's gonna really blow you away.
Well, cheers.
oh yeah, cheers,
Cheers.
guys. Cheers.
And thanks for the beer.
Thanks for the beer, man.
Oh, that's pretty delicious actually.
So
For being down strong,
yeah,
it don't taste that.
for having such a strong smell, it tasted
Yeah.
really good, man.
Yeah.
So I wanted to start with the name and Coal Mine Avenue. Is that literally the street you're on, or is that a specific to you?
No, that is the street we're on.
Perfect.
There's a story behind. There's pretty much a story behind everything with us. We had a pretty long road to get where we are. We're Coal Mine Avenue Brewing Company because of the street we're on.
Get a little bit closer.
A little closer.
Yeah,
okay.
thank you.
So where am I going to put my beer?
You always can move it like that.
Yeah. Okay. So we actually started out with the name Off Leash Ales. Before we had found a location, we found a location where we are now, and we were still Off Leash Ales for a little bit. But as often happens in this industry, you run into trademark issues and things like that. And so we ended up getting a cease and desist letter when we tried to register our trademark for Off Leash Ales. We're Off Leash Ales because we have an off leash dog park at our brewery, which has always been part of our dream, part of our concept to have that. So Off Leash Ales fit perfect, but that unfortunately wasn't meant to be. And so we got that, and my wife and I, Erica, we were struggling. What do we call this? It's been, our baby has been called Off Leash Ales for so long. We were very attached to this, and we couldn't come up with anything else that kind of fit our concept without sounding kind of corny, like the drinking dog or the sudsy creature, some weird lame stuff. And then I was looking at the logo and thinking about our location one day, and on the logo I noticed, wow, if we pull out Off Leash Ales Brewery and Tap Room, we can very easily just plug in Coal Mine Ave Brewing Company. It fits right in. It's what we're all about. We want to be the neighborhood brewery, and so giving that nod to the neighborhood, it was perfect, and we knew it was perfect as soon as we came up with it. The logo was designed for it, so it was meant to be.
Just worked, huh?
Worked.
That's awesome, man. And you did mention that dog park. I'm assuming either you or your wife just love dogs, or how did that idea come about?
Both of us. So my wife used to work in a financial services company, and they used to send her out to San Diego, usually about once a year or so for training and things like that to the parent company. One year she went out, and we decided, hey, let's make a long weekend of this. And so I flew out and met her on a Friday after her class, stayed downtown San Diego at the Gaslamp District, and we were just hanging out, talking to the bartender. It was piano music playing. It was like really old school kind of scene in there, just enjoying it. And we're asking him, oh, what's to do around here when you're in town for the weekend? And he says, well, do you like beer? Because there's a few breweries that are pretty notable around here. Stone is one, and Anchor Steam. And we said, oh, I really like Stone. I'd like to go to visit Stone Brewing. So we went up there, took the next day, drove up. Huge. This place was insane what they had done. It's got an exclusive restaurant that you have to pretty much make reservations ahead of time. The facility was giant. You walk outside, and this is what got us. So we had our beers in hand. We walk outside, and there were these lush gardens. They had this waterfall. They were setting up for a wedding. It was so just amazing to us that they had built all of this by selling a glass of beer at a time.
Right.
Or, so
in San Diego, of all places, right?
Well, Escondido, so north of there, kind of
Gotcha.
Inland a little bit, right? Not in the really exclusive part, but we thought, you know what? This would be perfect if we had our dog with us. And from then on, it's just been kind of something that was a pipe dream at the time. And we started working on just kind of playing around a little bit. And finally, one day, Erica gets serious about this, going, what would this really look like if we wanted to do this? And so she starts looking at business plans and things like that. And we took a couple of classes with the Small Business Administration of Denver and our SBDC, Small Business Development Center. And then one day she calls me, and she is sad and excited at the same time. She had just been laid off. She had just gotten her notice that day, and she had been working on her, how do we get out of this? How do I get out of this situation? Because she was ready to move on, but she was sad because all of the people that she'd worked with for so long were, she wasn't gonna work with them anymore.
Right.
But we took that as a sign. Okay, this should happen. This means we should move forward with it. So
Should do it.
Another
Yeah.
destiny mark.
2014 October. That's when that happened.
Very nice, man.
So you can pretty much is the whole concept of allow dogs on the place is new, or is been
So there's always been this dog friendliness aspect to a lot of the breweries around town. Denver, a couple of years ago, they disallowed dogs inside the tap room because of one situation where I think somebody put a dog on one of the tables, and someone complained about that, and they reported it to the right person, and Denver said, okay, no more dogs in tap rooms. All the surrounding areas, though, have not followed suit, luckily. But, you could always take your dog in. You'll see a lot of breweries where you can take your dog in, have them on a leash. They're kind of hanging out there. For us, the idea of going in and, well, let me go back to why we thought this was a good idea. So we worked downtown, and we would come home every day and felt like going somewhere to have a beer. We didn't want to leave our dog home, right? Because they had been alone most of the time. So just someone come in, let them out, and then that's it. So we didn't really want to leave them by themselves again so we thought, wouldn't it be great to have a place where we could just walk our dog, have a beer, let them run off their energy, have a good time too, and then go home. And that's why we knew we wanted to be in a neighborhood, because it's people like us that are.
You saw the need and you said,
Right.
all right.
No, we're not the only ones with this idea. The Bark Bar had opened up. We actually have a dog from the same litter as one of the people that opened up the Bark Bar, which unfortunately closed down due to challenges in the neighborhood. They were right off of 38th and I want to say Federal, 38th and Sheridan, 38th and maybe closer to Sheridan. But it wasn't a brewery. It was a bar. They specialized in craft beer, and they had spirits and things like that. So we took a lot of cues from them. We were talking to them when we had our puppies in training together, and found out we actually had the same idea. For them, they were already well on their way to opening. For us, it was still kind of that pipe dream, figuring things out.
Just a whisper, just an idea.
Right. Yeah. We had the same idea, so we followed them pretty closely. Unfortunately, like I said, they ended up having to close. But there's another craft brewery tap room now in Lafayette, Colorado.
Close to Louisville over there.
Great place. It's called Romero's Canine Club and Tap Room. Same concept, except they don't brew there. They specialize in craft beer, and they have some wine and things like that.
Gotcha.
Off leash dogs. We've taken a lot of cues from them, a lot of advice from them. Just really good people. So
it sounds like it's a small community, but a good one.
It's starting to definitely grow up, and yeah, you're starting to see that around a little more. There's one in Colorado Springs, fairly recently. I think it's called Pub Dog. So yeah,
Cool.
it's a up and coming concept for sure.
yeah.
Cool. Well, cheers to that for sure.
There is never had a problems with the dogs being inside. Like I can picture it like two different,
Yeah, for us, the dogs have their own area. They're out on the front patio. They have their own off leash dog area to run around and be crazy, cool. And people can. So they don't really come inside.
Okay.
We had to go through a long rezoning process, and as part of our agreement with the county, they were generally we're generally not supposed to allow them inside.
Gotcha.
So they're not inside. They're not bored. You're not tripping over them. You're not having that potential. That being said, dogs are dogs.
Right.
They're a lot like people. Some people get along together, and other people don't. The only thing is dogs are not bound by societal
Rules,
norms.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
More
so,
instinctual.
yeah, so you have to take that into account and try and mitigate, do whatever you can to mitigate. We have tools out there that our bartender, on busy days, we have one of our beer tenders is constantly out there, and they carry tools to mitigate any potential conflicts, like these air spray cans, their squirt bottles, things like that.
Gotcha.
Just different tools to prevent these confrontations, these
events, cool.
conflicts. Yeah.
Now,
A dog security guy.
Well, and we actually have two of our.
Do they have jackets too, like those stuff?
Well, two of our beer tenders are vet techs.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
yeah,
so they're
including
prepared
our-
for a little more than just a fight. They
Yeah.
could handle big situations.
yeah, including our taproom manager. She was a vet tech for a while.
Right.
So
I was going to ask you about that. So, like, you're mentioning vet techs, you're mentioning managers. When I was there, so I was at the bar, I was sitting there. It looked like there was just like servers or like bartenders and you. It looked like you were the only brewer out there. Are you the only brewer, or are you the main
I
guy?
am the only brewer, really.
Gotcha.
I do get assistance from time to time from some of our staff, but as far as who does the brewing, who does the cellaring, who decides what comes on tap, I mean, I get take a lot of cues from my wife and from our taproom staff, because they hear the customers all day, so they
Gotcha.
pass that on to me. But no, I am the head brewer, the assistant brewer, the cellarman,
The everything
yeah,
brewer.
that's me. Yeah,
Yeah.
the janitor of the pit. Yeah,
How do you end
Nice.
in doing making beers? Like, how do you start it?
home brewing. I've been home brewing for, well, before we started this, it was probably about 8 years. It just started home brewing and
Like a hobby, just
started with extract malt kits on the kitchen stove, and just grew from there. Just buying more things, trying all grain, just kind of expanding into that. Next thing you know, you got a 7-barrel brew house and storage unit somewhere collecting dust, waiting to open. So
Shit got serious.
it's a dangerous hobby for sure.
right. When did you? I guess, was it a particular beer that took you to the place where you're like, this could be bigger? Like, where was the moment where you knew I could make money, or this could do more for me? Was it a beer, a flavor? Was it your skills? What was?
I don't know if it was any point where I said this could make me money, because I still work a full-time job. So
Gotcha. Besides the brewery,
yeah,
really?
yeah.
No, shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have assumed that.
When
man.
did
Yeah.
you sleep?
Yeah, I saw him working
Wait.
at it. It looked like he was like a one-man show. He was sweating. He had the gear on. I'm just like, I almost felt bad
Yeah.
for you. I'm like, Jesus.
No, hard work,
That's-
man.
it's hard work, but it's rewarding because you get this at the end, right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
But where were we? What was the question again?
Well, you said,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
okay.
still not making money
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
have a full-time job. but yeah.
There was it was a beer that I really enjoyed. New Belgium came out with. I don't remember how long ago was the first version they came out, but it was Coco Mole.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah. So the first time they came out with it, I thought, oh, this is an amazing beer. I really love this. I love that it's got a slight heat to it, but you don't taste a lot of chili. You get all of the cinnamon and the cocoa, and I just really enjoy drinking that beer. And so I went back to the liquor store that I normally go to, and they didn't have it. And so I asked, when are you going to get more of this in? Oh, no, we're not getting more of this in. It's a limited release on their Lips of Faith, so we have no idea. So then I thought, so I started finding other liquor stores that had it and trying to hoard it. So I'd buy as much as I could and take it home. And then down to the last bottle, I'm like, what am I going to do now?
Right.
I'm not going to have this beer anymore.
You can't chase liquor
I
stores.
can't have
yeah.
that because it's not there anymore. So I decided, okay, I try and make my own. And I had already been brewing at that time, but that was the first one where I went out and I was going for something that wasn't just kind of a cookie cutter recipe.
Like the basic,
right?
yeah.
So I went out, built my grain bill, my adjuncts, and in the end, it came out really close.
Nice.
So that was when I thought, wow, if I can replicate that, and people liked it. So, I mean, obviously it's your friends and they're getting free beer, but,
They're not very objective. They're just like, hell
but
yeah.
when they start drinking that over whatever else you buy from the liquor store that's in the cooler, then that was kind of the sign,
A
and I
good
really
sign.
enjoyed it. So that was probably the beer. It was
So
that
thanks
Kokomo.
to Mole Beer, thanks to New Belgium in a way.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny about the New Belgium thing is I love their Sunshine beer. I love that beer. And I run into the same problem. Like I'll maybe in Old Chicago will have it for like a month and then I can't find it. And I'll be like, hey, when are you getting this? And they're like, I don't know. So it's like I could see how that could spark something in you because it's like maybe it's just New Belgium or I don't know, but like there's good flavors that you don't see, especially in Colorado. You don't see for too long. So I'm like, man, but I'm glad that inspired this, man. This is delicious.
Yeah, this is our bestseller for sure.
Yeah.
You say this one is 7.1 alcohol on it?
The 7.1, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
It don't taste like I tried some 7.1 beers,
Right.
and you can tell like being very strong, and you can
Yeah.
tell right away. This one, it don't taste like it would be
Not
that
at
much
all,
alcohol. It's good.
Yeah.
Can be tricky because you might be like all excited and drinking, and like a few minutes later, like oh shit.
when I went to their bar to like invite them and stuff, I had one that had high percentage, and I'm watching the Nuggets game, and I knew they were at a different level, man. Because halfway through one of those cans, my mind is like, whoa, like I got buzzed. Really, I hadn't eaten obviously, but like I was like, wow, this really did the trick really quick. So I knew.
You hadn't eaten?
I-
Como, why didn't you beat him?
but Como from the Veggie Yeti, shout out to the Veggie Yeti. He came in later with his burger and I didn't want to tell him like, oh, I'm already tipsy, but yeah, he handed me a burger and it was delicious, man. Yeah, it was delicious. And about that, like, how do you find people to come to the restaurant? Like, how do you decide which food trucks? Like, how does that partnership even start, or what food do you choose?
It's so at first it was kind of challenging. Fortunately, we got fairly early on. We got to know and got partnerships built up with this group of food trucks that shares the same commissary. Mac and Noodles being one, Mile High Cajun. Those
Gotcha.
guys are great, and so being able to get in with them and build that relationship with them has really kind of kept us in food trucks, and other food trucks, when they see that they can be successful there, they'll contact you. So we were at first seeking a lot of food trucks, and now it's to the point where
They seek you.
They contact us because
Gotcha.
they know that if they can get there if they can get a Friday night from us, they're probably going to do well. Old school Q. I mean, that being said, we've been really lucky with a lot of our food trucks, and there's been a few that haven't really lived up to the reputation or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, I would knock on wood, we've been really lucky with our food trucks and them contacting us and having the right people there. So
Very nice.
yeah,
that helps because at the same time people will stay longer, right? At the brewery.
And the funny thing is with Como, we weren't open yet when we met him. We just happened to be sitting at the bar at Landlocked Ales, just talking about business again. It's a very close community, the brewing community. So we were sitting there talking to the owners there, and Como's sitting next to us and says, "Are you guys are opening a brewery? Is that what I heard?" And he says, "Here's my card. I'm going to be opening up this vegan food truck." And
Sounds like Como.
Before he opened. And so, yeah, we were just kind of waiting for him to open. Once he did, he contacted us, and yeah, he's been killing it. His food's really good.
His food is good. What's
Yeah.
funny about that story is that when I'm at the brewery, when I was at your brewery, Como invited me in the van in their truck, and I told him, "Hey, what do you know about this brewery? We're looking for breweries on our podcast. I'm about to invite them. What do you think?" He's like, "Hell yeah!" He goes, "Let me tell you a little story," and he repeated that story, and he said, we both had a dream at the same time, and it's really cool. You see me here now, you see them now." And he goes, "This started as a small dream." He goes, I remember meeting him in reference to you, and I remember talking about this, and he goes, "And to see us now, it's really cool." And he recommended I invite you guys here. So here's to Como.
All right, thanks, Como.
Yeah, Como.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Como, if you hear this, that was me yelling at you on Broadway at Alternation. I saw him going inside. I rolled down my window and said, "Hey, Como," and he like turned around, confused look on his face, but he waves back anyway.
Yeah, he's nice
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
to be like, "What?"
Yeah.
Whoever. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And it's a pretty interesting story. On top of everything, you still had a full-time job, or you're doing a part-time job besides the brewery?
It's full time.
Full-time
Wow.
job.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
What do you do on? Or,
So I am an IT project manager.
No, okay. So there.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
for software development.
Man, I wouldn't connect the two.
I think you'd be surprised. A lot of brewers that you meet come from very technical, very kind of buttoned
Like,
up backgrounds.
yeah.
I know Dean from Dead Hippie. He does software, and you would just be surprised. It's that engineering, that technical side,
Chemistry, numbers.
that wants to get out and do something creative.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Are you planning to leave your job anytime soon, or you just?
I'm just kind of taking it as it goes.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm gonna juggle both as long as I can, and we'll see how
Yeah.
it works out.
Very nice, man.
yeah.
Congrats.
I'm pretty sure it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming it's hard, right?
It can be challenging sometimes when I.
By what I saw, it looked hard. Just that particular day, it looked hard, and I had no idea you had a different job. That's crazy. But it takes two, man. It takes two. And you said you're married, you have a wife. Like, how you have to have someone supporting you. You have to have someone backing you
Yeah,
up.
so I always tell people, they come up and they ask, "Oh, are you the owner?" I said, "No, I'm just the brewer," and I point to her. She's the owner because she does everything. She runs that business. She does the accounting. She does, her and now fortunately we've been able to hire a taproom manager that's been able to help her out. But I mean, that's really what it is. I get the beer and the fermenters, and from the fermenters through the taps, and she does pretty much everything else.
Very nice.
So,
That's
yeah.
awesome, man. It's a lot easier when it's a team, when you have someone backing you up. And anytime I hear like young couples doing something, like the vegan van or the veggie van or the vegan van, I think it's what it's called.
Right.
It's also a young couple, and I'm like, it always inspires me. I'm like, wow, it's better in a team, man. It's better in a team, I think.
You're very kind to compare me to a young couple, but
Hey, you put that on yourself.
Yeah.
I left it at young.
Yeah.
You go from there.
All right.
It's for you, like the whole making beers, like kind of your passion. Do you?
Definitely. It, like I said, it allows someone that's been in kind of a technical field or studying numbers. It allows me to be creative. To be, we all, I think, need our own way of expressing our artistic expression, right?
Very, very.
And I can't draw.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sculpt, but I can make some funny things with beers. So
Right.
that's where I express myself.
What's the craziest beer you've ever made, man? Now that you're talking art and creativity, like maybe people didn't even like it, but you knew that you went all out in the creativity zone with it.
So I would say, and I haven't even released it yet.
Uh-oh. We're getting exclusive here.
Yeah. It's a Pinon beer.
Oh, the little pinions.
Yeah,
inside,
yeah. So it's an imperial stout that I did with Pinon. I did it on a 5-gallon batch,
Oh.
and so that one was really good. That was another one that kind of said, hey, maybe we can actually make this work. And so that was fun. The craziest thing I've probably done at the brewery is to throw 50 pounds of Nutter Butters in the mash for a stout. We do a series called the Lumos series, and it's a brute sour. So I'm not sure, but I believe we may be the first in the state to release it, a brute sour. I want to say that was February. No, it was earlier than that. It was last year. It was a cherry version. And then, so we did a pomegranate ginger version after that was really good. So just all those types of things. I'm not going to do anything crazy. Like there's a brewery that did a Peking duck thing. I want to make sure that people who are vegan can drink my beers, or even just vegetarian,
Gotcha. That's good to know.
Yeah. That's crazy. There's a lot of people that goes and ask like, is this beer like has products that are animal based,
Right.
And there's I think the most commonly known are milk stout, of course, uses lactose, milk sugar,
right.
And then what else? So you got the milk stout, and then that's the one. Yeah, lactose and the milkshake IPAs. That's what I'm thinking. So those aren't vegan friendly, but then up until recently, even a lot of mass-produced beers would use a gelatin fining agent, which gelatin is an animal product, to clarify. And so that's another thing that it's not become, it's kind of fallen out of popularity to use that type of product anymore. So it's not hard to find vegan friendly clarifying agents and things like that.
Or entire breweries, right? Like Alternation is one of them. Yeah,
they're completely vegan. So if they're going to do a milk stout or a milkshake IPA, they will use alternatives like almond milk or coconut milk and things like that. And it's really good. They do a good job of that. So,
can you tell the difference like right away, or you have to know about beers to tell the difference between a regular, beer and a vegan beer?
Oh, like an animal-based beer, yeah.
Or like a milk stout. The reason you use lactose in a milk stout or in a milkshake IPA is to get a bigger mouthfeel on it. And sometimes you can. They're sweeter for sure, but it could just be that it's a sweeter beer. It could just be that they used a lot of oats or other things to thicken it up, a longer boil. Lactose is just one means of doing that. So you can suspect maybe, but until you ask or look at the thing, then the ingredients, and you're probably not going to know.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Or you're an expert, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
a visual expert.
I'm sure there's people out there like certified cicerones and things like that can tell you, oh yes, this definitely has lactose in it.
But anybody who would know that much seems too uppity to me. They wouldn't even be at a brewery.
No, I wouldn't say that. We actually know one of our friends is she's one of, I want to say, 40 advanced cicerones in the world.
Oh my God, in the world?
And
Jesus.
One of maybe a dozen women. I think that number's grown since I last checked.
And you want to tell people what cicerone is?
So cicerone, okay. So cicerone is do you know what a sommelier is?
Yes.
It's a wine expert, someone who trains in being able to identify a wine style, being able to pick out off flavors, being able to understand what flavors, what types of foods pair well with wines. So a cicerone is that intense level of training, but for beer instead of wine.
Huh. Cool. Christian, we are not cicerones, man. I'm at the level of this was good. This was bad.
I'm just a lazy drunk. That's why.
You know what? That's why I make beer. Is it good? Good.
Good. Yeah. That's the A plus, right? Just good and bad.
I mean, I go to bars and places, breweries, and my first thing is just I want to taste a good beer. I'm not sure what's behind it, but you can tell the difference between a good and and a horrible beer.
Well, what do you normally like to drink? What kind of
Amber.
beers? Okay, so
Amber.
so you're kind of eyeing that can there.
I just want to try because when you say the 7.1 alcohol to me
That
is
sold me, but I
um,
thought you would pick the other one. I thought you would pick the amber because I know you like amber. But
Yeah.
I know the 7 would price. it
yeah.
less.
I was because again I'm trying a lot of
Mhm.
the beers that have a big
Right.
number in alcohol, and I didn't like them as much.
They do carry
Yeah.
a stronger flavor. Is that common for a higher alcohol content to just be a stronger, imposing flavor?
It depends. They can come out, hotter. They can be sweeter in a lot of cases. It really just depends on the beer. Something like this, it's pretty common to find a New England style IPA that's this ABV because you're going for all this hop aroma and hop flavor, and you're going for a thicker mouthfeel, and that's why it looks like pineapple juice, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was thinking
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good comparison.
So, but then you can have a barrel aged stout that you can definitely taste. Like sometimes you can taste that this thing has been in a rum barrel. You can taste it's been in a whiskey barrel. But a lot of times that ages out and they mellow out really nicely. So they kind of just take longer to really be drinkable, and that's why you see a lot of people will take these higher ABV. They're really good for aging.
Oh, I see.
How long a beer normally lasts, like in a can? How long is
A can
drinkable?
life.
I want to say it was probably around 4 weeks is what they recommend. Maybe 2 weeks. You really should drink these within 2 weeks. These types of cans.
So if we, that's good. You're saying that. So if we take this home, and I did take a can home, it was gone within a couple days. So I was fine. But like, if someone takes a big boy like that home, within 2 weeks, it's the freshest. But it could last 4
It's
weeks.
good. It could last up to I would 6 weeks, depending on the beer, depending on if it's kept cold, things like that.
Gotcha.
You just after a certain time, you don't want to guarantee that it hasn't degraded,
Right.
become oxygenated, or if it's been stored warm, things like that. So,
It's not gonna be as good. And
and this is this style of beer should be drank fresh. That's when you get the most flavor and the most aroma out of it. And as they start, if they age too long, they kind of oxidize, and you see they kind of start getting this weird brown color to them in a lot of cases, and then they start tasting not as fresh, not as bright.
Is there times in your spot where you see a color like that, but it's coming from the big barrels, the big batch, and you just have to get rid of that whole thing? Is there times where you're like, that you won't like it, so you don't want to give it to anybody else, so you get rid of the whole thing?
Yeah.
That's gotta hurt, huh? Because you're thinking ingredients, you're thinking the time.
You do, but you also think, okay, this is we're trying to build something here. We want to
Quality.
be a point of pride for the neighborhood, and if we're putting out a bad beer,
right.
that's not how we're gonna do it. So
Right.
Yeah.
no, it sucks when it happens, especially we've been, since we kind of opened with only our soft opening, we had 2 beers. Grand opening, we had 3 of our own beers, and we were
Gotcha.
supplementing with guest taps. And so I've been trying to play catch up ever since to build up to 12 on tap. Haven't got there yet, but we're getting close.
Gotcha.
So dumping a beer, it sucks, and
It's
it
like
puts me
going back.
behind a little bit. But on the other hand, it doesn't hurt because I know that I wouldn't want to serve that.
Right. Right.
How long is the process to, let's say, to make this beer? From the moment you start to the moment to put it in the top?
It's about 2 weeks,
2 weeks?
give or take.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I expected longer. Did you expect longer?
No, I think I know a little bit.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm trying to make math in my head. Like, Jesus, they need to sell it.
Right. You're
like-
thinking the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, it's not bad. So, and this one goes away kind of quick. Like, this is your best seller.
Yeah, this one will sell quickly. So,
Gotcha.
and it's a good thing because this is the one that needs to be drank fresh. So, I haven't had any issues with it getting too old yet.
Is this your best selling beer? Is that what
Yeah.
I'm hearing? Okay,
Yes.
cool.
I can see it. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
I
feeling
might change my mind after I taste that one.
right. I know how you've been lusting after this amber.
Yeah, you're like,
So
forget
the
about that one.
amber, I don't know if you heard the name of it, Reluctance.
Ah,
I didn't want to brew an amber, and it
right.
was.
Are you not a
I
amber
had
fan?
never brewed an amber before. Even home brewing, I didn't want to do it. Fat Tire's a good amber, but I'll leave it to Fat Tire. But our taproom manager and Erica, my wife, were on different days telling me, when are you gonna brew an amber? People keep asking for an amber. They want to have an amber, and
And you're secretly like, oh.
I'm like, I'm not gonna brew an amber. I have the Irish Red. I can drink that. I'm not gonna
get
do an
him
amber.
close.
Right.
Get him out of here.
But
Yeah.
that also got me thinking, okay, if I'm going to do an amber, how can I make it a little bit different? How can I make it our own beer?
How did you?
Just some specialty grains I used.
Cool.
A little bit of rye and then some Belgian malts. It come out. I think it came out pretty good. But so I started thinking about it then. And then one day, I'm down there, I'm working, and it's a weekend, I believe. And Janelle, our taproom manager, says, when are you going to brew an amber? People keep asking for an amber. Why don't you want to do one? Like, I don't want to brew an amber. Erica says, hey, I think you should think about brewing an amber because people keep asking for an amber. Like, I don't want to do an amber. That night on social media, one of our regulars posts on there, on a beer specific group, that he was sitting drinking a random amber somewhere. And he says, this is my favorite amber. Until Manny makes one.
Oh,
Same night. I'm like, okay.
he put you on the spot.
He's like right in the middle of the the craft beer Facebook page. And so I responded, okay, if we win the People's Choice, Westward's Best of People's Choice for Best Patio for Pets, I'll brew an amber.
Oh, look at you.
So I put it out there, just thinking, okay, well, he'll get people to vote for us, and
Right.
we're going for that.
Little
We're
marketing.
working on that. So we won. Same guy calls me out. Congratulations to Coal Mine for winning Westward's People's Choice Best Patio for Pets. I'll take my amber now. Something to that effect now. So I says, I know. So I brewed it, and yeah, we pulled the first one off the taps and put it in a can and marked it 001, and he got that can. So,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Mhm.
Cool.
Did he open it? Do you know if he opened it? I would have maybe just kept it sealed.
I don't know that he ever drank it, to be honest.
Because, I've never even heard of that. To have someone's first beer ever, like he doesn't know how big you guys will ever get. I'd love to have a 001 on something.
001 amber.
Yeah. Do you want to open it? Let's try an amber. Man.
Let me finish it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I was
So that's why it's called Reluctance, because
Yeah.
I was reluctant to brew it.
but at this point, no regrets. It sells well. It's a great taste.
Yeah,
it's all
damn
good.
it. I'm going to have to brew it again. People keep drinking it. Stinking amber.
People keep liking
It's
this
good, though. I
too.
do like it. And, it helped. I put a small amount of rye in it because there's this small local festival just from some local breweries they've been doing it for a while now, called Rye Fest, and it's all rye beers.
Oh.
So I figured, okay, I'm doing an amber, put a little bit of rye in it, and then that'll get us into Rye Fest, where I hadn't planned on brewing a rye beer at the time. So we got to hang out with all of our industry friends down there with that Rye Fest.
Or your little local breweries and stuff.
Yeah.
Are you closer to some breweries than others? Or do you have a community out there and you help each other out? Are you close to some people? Some breweries?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, in general, the brewing community is very supportive, especially in Colorado. I don't know about other states, but Colorado, the industry is very supportive of each other. You have your geographic not divisions, but limitations. You tend to get to know those who are closest to you.
Right.
And
He says, where are you from? Boulder?
Yeah.
But-
No, none of that.
Over here.
I'm sorry. If anybody in Boulder wants to do a collaboration, contact Coal Mine Avenue Brewing Company.
He says, I apologize for the comment of Concoction Podcast.
That's not me.
So no, I mean, but we planned a lot of our breweries sitting behind the bar of Chain Reaction Brewing Company, and they've been around for a while. Great guys. We see them in our brewery, drinking Locavore. And vice versa. We'll go in there and we'll have a few beers, and Locavore's in our place. And when Locavore's in our place, most of the time they're drinking this
They're
one.
drinking this.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's to Locavore and
Locavore.
Locavore. Okay.
Yeah. It's
cool.
like the word carnivore or
Gotcha.
herbivore, right?
Yes.
So a locavore is someone who really eats only locally sourced kind of
Ingredients.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they named their brewery after that concept. Yeah.
I like it. I like the name. Yeah.
Very
Locavore.
cool. I think that's cool. I think that I'm pretty sure that will make you guys better. No,
Yeah, it will.
everybody. I mean,
Yeah. And then, we had a Dead Hippie Brewing Dean. He was, when we were moving our tanks in, he was there physically, like helping us drop these giant tanks down into the pit. I mean, you saw the pit, right? We got
Yes.
this sunken brew house. So he was there helping us figure out how we were going to get these in the door, down into the pit. And I mean, that's the kind of community we have. It's not, oh yeah, call me sometime. And, if you need anything, give me a call or whatever. When someone in your local brewing community says they're going to help you, they're like, okay, tell me when it is. And then they'll follow up. Okay, you're ready to do this yet? Cause I'm ready to go.
Nice.
And that's what happens. They just help.
that's awesome.
Very cool. And speaking on subject, like why pit? Like, cause that did surprise me. Like I looked down at you working and I'm like, my first thought was like, there's a literal pit there. Like, is there a reason why there's a pit?
There is one of our many challenges. So that building that we're in, that area is known for bentonite in the soil, which causes a lot of expansion and contraction and things like that. It's this heavy, nasty clay stuff.
Gotcha.
Because of that, they had to build it so that it was one big floating floor. Now, when we get in there, that big floating floor is not thick enough to be able to support our full fermenters, our full brew kettle, all of that stuff.
Gotcha.
So we had a choice there, and that was either we cut out that floating floor, stabilize the soil so that the bentonite doesn't expand and contract, and then pour concrete in a pit. The second choice was to get underneath and stabilize or support it from underneath, and then leave the brewery at ground height. So we went with the cheaper option, which you wouldn't think it would be, but it turned out to be this cool effect. We always knew that we wanted people to be able to see the brewery, because when we walk into a brewery, it feels like a brewery when you can see the fermenters, when you can see the kettles
Right.
and everything. That to us makes it feel like a brewery. Otherwise, it just kind of feels like a bar to me.
Exactly.
So the fact that our concept was then multiplied by the fact that we had to lower it down in, and now people can just walk around. We don't have to give tours. People can just walk around. Oh, there's this and that. And, yeah.
What's Manny doing now? Huh?
Right. Well, maybe I thought about putting some little vending machines out there with Boston baked beans or something, so that we put a quarter in and throw them at me once in a while. Get my nourishment.
Feed Manny.
Yeah. Feed the brewer 25 cents.
Well, let's try your favorite one.
Let's do that. Oh, that's your favorite one too, the Amber?
No,
Oh, your favorite one.
I know
yeah.
that's why I'm thinking.
Yeah.
My favorite one was a collaboration we did with Seed Stock for Collaboration Fest. It was a jalapeno margarita goza.
Ooh.
So a goza is a style that was traditionally brewed in Germany, in an area where the water had a very high salt content. And it was a slightly sour beer, a tart beer.
Uh-huh.
And so what you ended up with was a kind of a salty, sour beer, and they tend to be really low ABV, 4% or so, 4.5. Collaboration Fest is this chance for breweries to pair up, or get a group together,
Get a
and
good beer.
kind of flex your muscle and just see what you can do that's crazy one off. So we did a goza that was 7.5%.
Nice.
So we call it an imperial goza, and added some cilantro, some lime, and some jalapeno and some agave nectar, and it turned out it tasted like a margarita. We were even salting the rims at Collab Fest, and I think people were getting mad at us because we'd give them their salted rim glass, and then go to next booth, and they go, what's going on with this? Who the hell's putting the salt on the rim and not gonna wash this off? Like, just give me the beer.
Right.
That one was good.
Well, that's as close as you could get to tequila, man. You guys almost became tequila over a beer. That's really, really cool.
It was a really good beer too.
That's awesome.
We have a customer that keeps coming in and saying, "When are you gonna do that again? When are you gonna do that again?" He wants to buy a keg of it. He's this cool guy. He looks like a miner, kind of like an old prospector, and but he loves it.
He has a wooden leg.
No, he gets around pretty good actually. But so we're gonna brew that again. Seed Stock is gonna do a full batch, and we're gonna do a full batch at our place. So
very nice.
So it's not gonna run out as quick. Last time it lasted 2 weeks.
Now that he.
Well, before you continue, let's.
Yeah.
Somebody's thirsty.
I can see it in your eyes. You're getting antsy for the amber.
It's been a long week.
Amber is the color of my energy.
See,
that's right.
That's beautiful.
311.
Just when you pour the beer, it's just like you just wanna start drinking as soon as you see it.
That is like a fat tire, huh? Not like a fat tire kind of drink.
Amber's gotta look like that. So.
Oh, what a beautiful pour.
Thank you. See?
You want to pour on top of that? You want to?
Look at this.
There you go.
This is a beautiful.
Finish your beer, young man.
It's a beautiful looking beer, man.
It smells good too.
Like, put it up to the light, Christian, like you did before. Oh, that looks so beautiful. We can make a commercial, man. We literally are making a commercial. Yeah. So, like, what I was saying is, like, I didn't know there was festivals where you guys combine. Has there ever been a combination between you and another brewer, or not necessarily you, that is liked so much or was so creative that it becomes big and it becomes a constant sell in that state, in that city, something famous even?
I've heard rumors, but I don't know anything specific, so just leave it that they're just kind of rumors.
Gotcha.
That kind of festival is pretty rare. I don't know of any others like it in the country, but Colorado has one. So collaboration festival. It actually happened on my birthday this year, March 16th.
Nice.
So I've been wanting to be part of that festival since we started planning this thing out, and finally we got to do it. And I think we did a good job of it, because we were in Westward a couple of times for beers to watch before the festival. And maybe it wasn't Westward, it was another magazine. But then another write-up about how they saw people walking around with these salted rim glasses, and they thought, where am I going to get a margarita? And they pointed them over to us. So
there you go.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Are you guys planning to compete in another those beer?
Yeah, festivals can be a bit of a handful for a brewery, because there's so many. There's gotten to be so many of them that come up. There's definitely a few big ones that we wanted to be part of, Collaboration Fest being one of them, and we're still trying to decide if we really want to take on Great American Beer Festival.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
I'm not sure if we're ready to take that on yet. I'd like to, but the jury's still out.
Let's give people an exclusive. What beer would be your beer if you do? People. I've been encouraged to enter
a saison I do. It's a cilantro lime saison
Okay.
that I've been doing for a while, and that was the first beer. It was probably the fourth beer that we released, but it was the first beer that people started saying, "Hey, are you guys going to be in GABF this year?" And that was last year, July 6th. So that's potential. I've also been encouraged to enter the Peabody in the hazy IPA category, which this last year was the first time that was actually a category at Great American Beer Festival.
Gotcha.
So it's a heavily competed in category. So
Okay.
maybe just throw it at the wall and hope for the best. But
You never know.
but
You never know.
yeah, so those are two potential items, and we'll have to see what
Well,
new comes.
by what we're tasting here today, the flavors that I had when I went to your bar, you're not far behind, if you're even far behind at all, man. Like you're in the competition. I'm telling you straight up.
I mean,
Well, I appreciate that. Thank
just
you.
try. I'm pretty sure. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the Great American. See that?
Oh
thing
yeah,
in
yeah.
there?
You got the raw malting.
Yeah, I got it from a bunch of breweries, and there were a lot of great beers, but there were some that you were like, nah.
Just average. Just
we
normal.
have way better beers here in Colorado.
Yeah.
So no, every single one is great in there.
Yeah, you get a lot of creativity, but then you also have a lot of people that they know they have a solid American wheat beer, and so they're proud of it, and that's what they showcase. Well, if you've been drinking New England IPAs all day, or barrel aged stouts, or whatever you can find, and then you go on an American wheat beer, it by then your palate's wrecked,
Right.
and you're not going to be able to appreciate it. So that's
And the worst part is there's people out there writing about it. So exactly what you just said, and then they're gonna write an article like that beer wasn't that good,
But it's
and you're
not-
just like, what?
It's not that you eat crackers and cheese, and that helps to kind of refresh your mouth and keep drinking. And
Yeah.
'Cause they have a lot of
it
that.
does to some degree, but if you're drinking some Peabodys, eventually all you're gonna just taste Peabody.
yeah, I mean, I was drunk after like 4 hours there. So,
He's like, I wasn't tasting anything.
I mean, no, again, but I go and taste it without like being professional or anything like that. It's me more being a fan of beer.
Right.
So my idea of being a good beer is like, this tastes good. That's
Yes.
it,
And that's the ultimate gauge, right? Do you like to drink it, or do you not like to
Yeah,
drink it?
Right.
And then as far as festivals go, we try and stick to smaller local festivals that either
Gotcha.
fit with our kind of our concept or our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Again, we want to be a point of pride for our neighborhood, and
Right.
we also, being our concept, you don't build a brewery around a dog park without being very, without the love of animals and
Of
wildlife
course.
and dogs. And so we take a lot of pride in being able to do that. We've done an event at Foothills Animal Shelter that, we were a small part of it. I'll say that we were just a small part of it, but that event raised $10,000 for the shelter.
Very
Nice.
nice.
Yeah. So just doing things like that.
Do you have events in your specific location at your brewery where you're like, okay, this much will be for this charity, or we're gonna help dogs in this, or not necessarily dogs, but animals?
Yeah, we've done a few things like that. We have a regular. He's moved a little further north since then, but he's in law enforcement and let us know about this issue. One of his colleagues, her home had burnt down. Her apartment had burnt down while she was on duty at work,
Oh,
and her dog was stuck in the apartment. And some neighbors heard that, and they got in and pulled the dog out. And so now the dog's fine and she's fine. The dog had medical bills from smoke inhalation, and she had to rebuild all of her life basically. So
Right.
we had one specific event in the tap room to help her out, because it not only was it her dog, but it was a police officer, and my little brother is state patrol in Alamosa. We've got a good friend who's in DPD.
Gotcha.
We definitely appreciate our heroes.
Definitely.
One of our bartenders is he works for West Metro Fire Department, and
Nice.
this is what he does for fun. So
For fun.
yeah,
That's pretty
Nice.
cool.
I appreciate that
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a firefighter, I mean, being pouring beers and
Yes,
in
of course.
different environment, I'm pretty sure it's fun.
Yeah.
Compared to like fighting, risking your life every chance.
Right.
And
Right.
so it's Manuel, it's really nice. I mean, I think you guys are doing something really cool. You guys beer is really good. There's actually very good quality of
I
beer.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, which at the end, I think that's the most important thing, right? To have a
quality product.
Good quality.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. So, Manuel, tell us for people who might be listening to this podcast or watching you, where they can find you, all the information about a coal mine.
Yeah, so we're located at 9719 West Coal Mine Avenue. That is basically east of Kipling on Coal Mine Avenue, right across from where old Funplex used to be. If for all you native Coloradans or
All
old
you
people who've
locals.
been here, yeah, right where Funplex used to be, which was also called Fat City and everything. We have a beer called Funplex, so if you want to sit and reminisce about when you used to go roller skating or playing laser tag there, you can have a Funplex and sit on the patio where it used to be. And you can look us up on Facebook, Facebook/Coal Mine Ave Brewing, Instagram, Coal Mine Ave Brewing, Twitter. We're not very good at the Twitter, unfortunately, but it's Coal Mine Ave Brewed on Twitter account.
Cool.
Nice.
And
Cool.
coalmineavebrewing.com is our website. So we try and keep at least Facebook and our website up to date with all of our events calendar. We've got music bingo going on tonight, which sounds like a fun time. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Any big events that people could come to your place for? Any special festivals? Anything you're involved with that you'd like people to know about?
we are we're actually looking ahead to our first anniversary,
Okay.
which is July 6th. We're going to have 3 bands playing that day.
Very nice.
Throughout the day. We'll have beer releases. Yeah, it's going to be a big party on that weekend. So
Okay.
July 6th, it's after the 4th. I believe the 4th is during the week, and then this is the weekend following it.
Okay.
So Saturday, we'll have. We're going to be 7 in dog ears, is what we say. so there's going to be a lot of themes around that.
Okay.
Like I said, live music. We'll have we'll have a very special hazy IPA that we're going to be releasing around that time,
Okay.
and kind of keeping back kegs of some of the stuff that are a little more unique just for that weekend. So,
Perfect, man.
Make sure you have that good amber.
Absolutely. You might even see us there, man. That sounds like
Yeah.
fun.
For anyone who's outside of the state, make sure whenever visit Colorado, check it out. I think it's
yeah.
be a
And
cool
if you want to
place.
bring your dog along, we just ask that you register it online at coalmineavebrewing.com, and feel free to bring them and let them play in the dog park, and while you get to watch your best friend have a great time and
have
have
fun.
a beer.
Have a
Yeah,
beer.
sounds good.
And eat some good food truck food and go from there.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, man, for coming, and
thank
thank you
you.
for the beer. It was great.
Thanks for having me. I
Yeah.
appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Absolutely.
Where they can find us, man?
Well, they could find us at the Concoction Podcast, Facebook and Instagram, the Concoction One on Twitter, and you'll be able to see yourself soon on YouTube at the Concoction Podcast. So
Awesome. Who do you got next week?
next week we're looking at
Next week is just
maybe a distillery, another distillery, like maybe Denver Distillery. If
Oh, okay.
yeah.
we have some whiskey now. This is the month of beer.
The
we
month of
have
beer. Yeah, we had Dry Dock 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll put some of their stuff up, and then people will follow up with you and stuff. And for some reason, everybody drink related, even school. Like we were talking to CSU, and they have a department for
Right.
they thought about coming. So this is the month it happened to be our month for drinking.
This is my month.
Yeah. Our month for drinking, right? Yeah.
I've been drunk the whole month. Jesus. I need to stop after this.
You don't look drunk.
No,
No, it's just when I get up, and that's when it's gonna be everything bad.
but we appreciate it, man. Like hearing the stories behind your guys' hard work is what keeps us going. Like it's fun stuff, man.
Well,
It's really
appreciate it, guys.
inspiring.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
appreciate it. And everyone who is interested in more episodes like this one can find us all the episodes in our channel on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and go visit our friends. Coleman is pretty cool, pretty good beers actually.
Absolutely.
And it seems like they have a park, so I'm gonna go and check it out. I don't have a dog, but I'm gonna definitely go see it. So it sounds like it's gonna be a cool place to have good beers. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
All right.
Thank you, Manuel.
Cheers.
Thank you, Mama. Cheers, guys.